Oh motherfuck. Why is the milk gone? Well, because you forgot to buy milk, alright? And why did you forget to buy milk? Well, that's an interesting question. See, you were gonna get some on the way home yesterday, but then you remembered you had to get some bread as well, so you went to the bread aisle. However, the alcohol aisle was on the way to the bread aisle, so you went there first, because recently you've been doing quite a lot of drinking alone, if by recently you mean the last 12 years. And they had this new 45% bourbon, which was pretty cool, which you bought and then forgot to buy milk. So really the milk is gone because of whiskey. But really you only went to buy whiskey because it's kind of been a cloudy day and you wanted to cheer yourself up a bit, and it's only really been a cloudy day because of temperature differential over the Balkan Peninsula brought on by east moving winds and pressure fluctuations. So really the milk is gone because of the weather. But the weather is only really there because of the atmosphere, which formed about 4 billion years ago as a result of gas escaping from the Earth's interior. So the milk is gone because of the Earth. But the Earth is only really there because a gas cloud condensed into the Sun and the solar system a few billion years ago. And all of that came from the Big Bang, billions of years before that. So really the milk is gone because space and time materialized out of apparently nothing 14 billion years ago. And if that's true, did the universe know 14 billion years ago that if she exploded, formed into galaxies and stars, and they gave rise to planets, and the planets developed ecosystems, single-celled life, complex organisms, humans, human society, domestication of cows, the invention of coffee, milk and coffee, fridges, and finally that you would eventually run out of milk 14 billion years later? Well, maybe. If you're playing pool or snooker or whatever, and you hit a ball at a certain angle at a certain speed, if you have a good enough computer you can say exactly where the balls are going to go, right? It's all predetermined. If you took exactly the same shot 1,000 times, the balls would do the same thing 1,000 times. Well, if the Big Bang happened 1,000 times over, just the way it did 14 billion years ago, would you run out of milk 1,000 times 14 billion years later? And doesn't that mean your life is already determined, like the date of your birth and death was already predicted the moment the universe came into being, and everything has to happen in a certain order, just that way, just like a pool game? No, definitely not. We've got free will, right? I mean, just because the universe is made of atoms bumping into each other that have to act in a certain way based on what happened before, and just because your brain is made of atoms that have to do the same thing and it's all part of the same system, you can still just decide to do stuff, right? Because otherwise we're just balls in a cosmic game of pool with no free will at all, meaning we're just robots caught in a deterministic system with just an illusion of choice but really having no control whatsoever over our own lives, deluding ourselves into thinking we're somehow different to all the other atoms in the universe, and that would mean you've never made a real choice and you never will, and whatever you decide to do next in life isn't a decision at all but was always going to happen, and there's no point to ever doing anything ever again because everything was pre-decided at the beginning of time and life is completely meaningless and empty and fuck it, black coffee is fine.